I'm Sam. 2 years ago, my now fiance and I got our first dog, Charlie, and we're both incredibly excited since neither of us grew up having pets but have always wanted one. Charlie was everything we could have hoped for and more. He's playful, friendly, loves everybody, and he's got an amazing personality. One day we noticed he wasn't doing so well, so we took him to the vet to find out what was going on. And after some tests, we learned that Charlie had a hereditary disease called canine cystinuria. We were happy to know what was going wrong, but unfortunately our vet could only prescribe Charlie with an expensive experimental medication that he'd have to take for the rest of his life. After taking him home, I knew this wasn't going to be good enough. I needed to find a solution, or at the very least find a way to make him more comfortable. Searching on Google was just a nightmare. There was just dozens of pages with conflicting information, no references, or just plain advertisements, and it was really stressful trying to find help for my dog and not being able to find useful information. Luckily, we were able to eventually find a specialist who was able to cure Charlie, but going through this process was just a nightmare, and it's so hard to look into your new puppy's eyes knowing they're sick and not knowing how to help them. This was really the motivation behind Pet Rally. We wanted to be a resource for pet owners to speed up the process of finding trustful, accurate information so that a new pet owner never has to go through this kind of stress.
Pet Rally's main users are first-time dog or cat owners. Getting a new pet is incredibly exciting, but it gets stressful pretty quickly. Due to this, we created a one-stop information hub for first-time pet owners. Our main competitors are Google and Bing, mostly because they are the established search engines that people will use. These sites, however, cover everything, so users often have to search through multiple sites to find the information they're looking for. This isn't helpful though if a user is looking for less common information like Sam was. Pet Rally, however, only searches sites that have useful pet and dog information, allowing us to provide better search results for our users. In order to help our users find more information, we hope to work with veterinarians during our next development phase. Veterinarians write informational blogs pertaining to their specialization or about pet care tips they've learned over the years. These blogs will be posted on both our blogs page as well as in a labeled area in our search results if the blog was pertinent to the query. Users will be able to comment on these blogs and interact with the veterinarian to get personalized responses. If a user really loves the veterinarian, they can easily find their contact information or write a review for that veterinarian's practice. It is the integration of people with our search engine that gives Pet Rally that extra edge over its competition. Pet Rally forms a community of pet owners where you can interact, ask questions, and learn about pet care. By pairing this with our effective search engine, we strongly believe that we will become the dominant pet information search engine by the end of 2015.
With Pet Rally, we want all of our users to feel welcome and have the best user experience as possible when visiting our site. We know that a lot of pet owners enjoy taking pictures of their pets, and so we took this to our advantage by including a carousel filled with wonderful pictures of cats and dogs.
In addition, to further assist our users, we created specialized blogs to ensure they receive the results they are looking for. On the main page, new pet owners who don't know what to look for can click on the First Time Pet Owner link, which will direct them to a blog filled with various tips and guides. These tips are already implemented and will provide the user general information about pets, and hopefully will give them some ideas on what to search for next. We also understand that not everyone is tech savvy, so we decided to keep our website clean and simple. Pet Rally contains an easy-to-use navigation bar to help our users move around, as well as creative fonts and color schemes to keep it exciting. Last but not least, we use a simple Twitter bootstrap with a responsive layout to accommodate users from all types of portable devices.
So I did work on the back end of Pet Rally. One thing we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure we could provide a really smooth, fast interface for our users. So we used Ajax to interact with the Solar Engine so that we could just display the results quickly, directly onto the front page where they're doing all the searching. One of the main goals of our site was that we wanted to make sure that the content we were delivering was trustable, so we paid careful attention to the sites that we used to see the crawler. That way we can curate an index of really reliable, pertinent information and different sites on pet information. So in the beginning we were just using the default Solar query processor, which was really good and helped us sort of get up and running really fast. But we found as we went on that we needed a lot more control over the way that our results were being weighted and displayed. So we switched over to the eDismax processor, which really helped a lot, and it allowed us to build a boosting strategy using the title and description and content fields. We also took advantage of their minimum match functionality, so now we were able to make it so that at least 2 words queried had to be in somewhat sort of close proximity to each other, and eDismax changes really increased our precision substantially.
As a search source and web app, analytics are very important for us to gauge our traction and see how we're doing. So right now we're using Google Analytics along with our own backend tracking to see what type of queries people are putting in as well as what they're clicking on. So for Google Analytics, we're tracking new visits, and thus far for this month we have 38% new visits, meaning 38% of the visitors to our website have been totally new, they've never used Pet Rally before, they're totally unique. And it's really great to see that because it means that our marketing is working and we're reaching out to people that have never heard of Pet Rally and they're actually going out and coming to the website. Our bounce rate from last month to this month, it went from 57% to 32%. That means that up from over half the time people are leaving, now only 30% of the time people are going to the website and leaving instantly, which means they interact with the website more. And for us, we think it's because our search results are a lot better, a lot more precise. On our own backend, we're tracking what type of queries people are putting in and the results they get. So for example, if I type in a really rare disease that we don't have any results for, the team can go in and see that, and we can go out and populate the crawler with CURLs that will supplement that information. So if it's a really rare disease, we'll go out and search that disease and add that into the CURL so the crawler will, no matter what, have information about it. For click-throughs, we're tracking what links people are clicking on the most so we can start boosting those URLs. And that's a great way for us to have the top URLs be very relevant and precise as to what the user's query is.
I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of the Pet Rally team. Even though I didn't have this when I was looking for information for Charlie, I'm really glad to know that new pet owners will have a great resource to keep their pet healthy and happy.